Burial, burial, burial is my school. Best education reservoir for young learners just like me. Burial,
Hello viewers, and my very students and every other person that's watching me, wherever you're watching me from. Alright, my name is Mrs. Almas. I'll be your host and I'll be your tutor for today. Okay, our subject is agricultural science and our topic today is storage. Okay, now you may want to ask, what is storage? Okay, I know so many things are coming into your mind as I've mentioned storage. We're talking about things you use for storage. I know you remember the bands, the silos, robots, and all that. Okay, now let's look at the definition of storage. Now, storage can be defined as the process of keeping products for future use. Very, very simple. The process of keeping products for future use. So we'll try and connect that now to agricultural science so we can relate that to our definition. Now we can say that storage is the process of keeping agricultural products for future use. Now these agricultural products can be in form of food, in form of raw materials, fuel, alright, and so on and so forth. Okay, let's take that down before we go to the reasons for storage. Why storage is very, very important in terms of agric. Alright, let's go. Okay, my lovely learners, as you can see from what we have on the board, it says storage can be defined as the process of keeping agricultural products for future use, and these products can be in form of food, alright, raw materials, fuel, or we can also keep products for sale. Okay, we can store for sale. Okay, now that's the definition of storage. I want to take that again. Storage can be defined as the process of keeping agricultural products for future use as food, raw materials, fuel, or for sale. Okay, now let's go to the reasons for storage. Why is that storage is important? As an agric student, you have reasons why storage is very, very important. In fact, as a farmer, livestock farming, crop farming, there are reasons why storage is very, very important. Well, of course, we know that whatever we harvest from the farm, we're not going to consume all at once. We need to store some for rainy day. Okay, now number one reason why storage is important is to ensure that food is available through the year at affordable prices. Okay, food is available. Yes, availability of food. Take for instance, Nigeria has a grain reserve for storage. It can be in form of a crib, it can be from a crib, a large one, where they store grains like the rice, or where they store legumes like the bean. Okay, like that. So we store those things there for future use. When they are not in the market, or when it's not time for them to be available for us to use, we go back to where we stored them, extract from there, and we use. Okay, that's number one. I'm taking it again. It said we store to ensure that food is available through the year at affordable prices. Okay, number two is that to reduce to minimum, alright, to reduce to the minimum the amount of food spoilage caused by diseases and pest attack. Yes. Now take for instance the bean. Okay, we'll go to the market and we buy beans, and we don't store it properly. If we don't store it properly, the bean beetle, or what we call the weevil, will come and attack our beans. So the beans that we get from the market needs to be properly stored in an airtight jerry can. You understand? Properly stored in an airtight jerry can. In Nigeria here, there's something we do when we're storing beans. We add ungrounded dry chili. What I call chili is the pepper now. Ungrounded dry, okay, to the beans inside the jerry can. Or it's an airtight container, and the container has to be properly sealed with the chili or the pepper inside, dry, not fresh. Okay, because if it's fresh, it's going to produce microbes that will at the end of the day, at the long run, affect your beans. You know that the beans you're storing inside that container has to be properly dried. Okay, number three is to ensure that seeds needed for subsequent planting are stored in good condition. I told you earlier that when we harvest these crops from the farm, take for instance our cereal, our legumes, okay, we dry them. All right, we'll dry them, and the farmer has to, he doesn't have to eat all of it. All right, yes, we have to keep some for subsequent farming. Okay, they are stored in a good condition. Okay, number 4 is to preserve the harvested product from loss of quality and poor sales. To preserve the harvested products, all right, to preserve crops from loss of quality and poor sales. Well, you know that if you go to the market and you want to buy any agricultural produce and it's not looking fine, it's rotten, it's not looking good, it's spoiled, you will not want to buy it. Okay. Number 5, to enable the farmer take advantage of higher price during the off-season and therefore make profits. Okay, what do I mean by that? Now, take for instance, in Nigeria here, there's something we do, people that are marketers of the oil palm, or the palm oil, alright, we popularly call the red oil. Okay, now, they store this oil in jerry can when they know that it's readily available in the market at a cheaper price. Take for instance, like Nigeria here, we use the naira, and I buy a 25 liter of palm oil. When it's available in the market, I can buy it for 6,000 naira, as the case may be, and I buy it in large quantity, and I store them. Now, when I know, I'll watch the season very well, watch the market price. When I know that the product is no longer available in the market, that time people have started selling it very expensive. What I bought at a cheaper price, I'll now bring it out for people. I will also sell with their own price, expensive price they are selling in the market, and I will make more profit. Okay. Now, number 6 is storage and preservation ensures adequate supply of raw materials to industries for processing. Okay, this is very, very key, and this is very, very good. Take for instance the industry of height and skin. Okay, yeah. Now, when they get these things, they dry them, they process them, and they store them, and they send them off to industries that produce leather bags, leather belts, and everything that has to do with leather. Number 7 is a proper storage helps to protect farm produce from insects and other pests. Proper storage helps to produce insects and pests from other insects from an attack. Okay. Now, having said that, I want to jot the points down on the board for you to see. Like I said before, reasons for storage. Reasons for storage. I explained up to 7 reasons, but I have about 5 on the board here. Okay, now number 1 is that to ensure that food is available throughout the year at affordable prices. I said that earlier. Number 2, to reduce to the minimum amount of seed spoilage caused by diseases and pest attack. Okay, in JS1 we talked about pests and diseases. All right. Number 3, to ensure that seeds needed for subsequent planting are stored in good condition. Okay, in good condition. Number 4, to preserve the harvested product from loss of quality and poor sales. And number 5 is storage and preservation ensures adequate supply of raw materials to industries for processing. Okay, now having taken this down and having noted this point, the next subtopic we're going into now is methods of storage. Methods of storage. How do we store? What do we need? Anything like farmstead, farm structure, or farm building for storing? Or do we need any equipment or any facility for storing? That's the next thing we're going into now. Now, number 1 thing we will consider under the method of storage here is the barn. Yes, the barn. Barn spelled B-A-R-N. Barn, yeah. I know that somebody's taking that spelling down, and what comes to your mind is the yam barn. Okay, in Nigeria here, we store yams in barns. We store yams in barn. Okay, a barn consists of a network of horizontal and vertical poles. Okay, the walls are short and made of mud or cement blocks. Okay, while the floor is on the ground. All right. The roof of the barn is made of thatched or thatched material. So to say, that one is very good because you have to consider temperature when storing the yam in the barn. If you visit most of our rural areas, you see barn, then you see the yam barn and how it is arranged in the barn and how it is stored. Now, the disadvantage that we have with barn is the attack from pests such as the wild rabbit, pests such as rats, okay, pests such as the yam beetle, okay, those ones they attack our yams in the barn. But if properly monitored, I'm sure we can manage that. Okay, we're moving further to creep. Okay, this one is just for storing cereals during the dry season. Okay, it's used for storing cereals during the dry. What I mean by cereals, we're talking about your maize, okay, your rice. All right, it's using for storing the millets, the guinea corn. Okay, we use the crib. Another thing we use again is called the rhombus. Okay, the rhombus. The rhombus. It's a spherical and cylindrical shaped object with dome roof, and it is made of mud walls. Okay, it is also built to rest on wooden or mud skids to avoid flood. Okay, the rhombus is used for storing dry grains which have not been threshed. What do I mean by threshed? Okay, like your rice, the way you see it in the bag when your parents buy it, that's not the way it actually is. There's some shells covering it. Okay, it's after the threshing that those shells come up and they remove all the dirt and they put it inside the bag. Okay, number 4 is the silo. I call it silo. Silo. That one is also used to store grains and cereals. Okay, and the grain or cereal to be stored in a silo must be dry and airtight. Okay, to avoid pests. All right. Number 1, we have the bean storage. Bean storage. Okay, it's also used to store. Okay, the bean storage. Now we're trying to explain that, and when we need to store small quantities of grains for some time, we can use devices like the tins, the drums, and earthenware. We can also use pots, okay, to store those things. Now, the process we do it, how we do it is that we fill in the container with the grains that we have to store to the brim, all right, airtight, and we seal it, okay, so that pest doesn't go in. The thing is, the pest is also a living thing. When the pest does not derive oxygen inside the container, it will not survive. Okay, we're moving further to bagging. This one is simply the use of bags. It can be sack bags, polythene bags, okay, depending on what you're putting inside the bag, and the bag has to be sealed properly. Okay, we're moving forward now. We're going to cold storage. Yes, cold storage. Many of you will know this one. This has to do with the use of refrigerators, fridges, and all of that, your cold rooms and all of that, to store these stuffs so that they don't go bad. Okay, and stuff like meat and egg and cheese and sausages, yogurt, milk, fruit, fish, okay, and vegetables. All right, now we're going to canning. Have you ever wondered why the tomato paste that your mom or your dad or anybody or you go to buy in the market, still intact inside the tin, doesn't get bad except it expires? Okay, now it has been stored there, it has been preserved there. I know they add one or two things to keep it that way, and the tomato has actually gone through a process for it to stay inside that container without getting bad. Canning. So this involves the storage of food items under hygienic condition in airtight cans and tins. Okay, now we're going to the use of baskets. Yeah, the use of basket. In the rural areas, we use baskets a lot. Okay, you could actually see somebody using basket to store fish, dry fish. You know, that's very, very common in rural areas. We also use basket to store kola nuts. Kola nuts are stored in baskets. Okay, we will have what we call gourd. The gourd, that's spelled G-O-U-R-D. Okay, it's like a clay pot, actually, where we can actually keep things there for storage. Okay, we also have jerry cans. Yeah, jerry cans. This one is very useful in terms of storing your granite, your oil. Talking about the granite oil, the vegetable oil, or the palm oil. Okay. Uh, there is another one that we use in the villages. We call it the underground pit. The underground pit. Okay, something like not too wide, not too deep. Okay, like I remember my dad those days stores kola nuts in an underground pit, and he wraps it inside the plantain leaf, sort of, and he digs the ground and put it. By the time he brings it out, he brings it out of that place after storing it. It can take up to 3-4 months, yeah, and it's actually looking so fresh. Okay, underground pit can also be used for storage. Okay, we have underground silos. We have underground silos. We have packaging. We have packaging. Okay, packaging is done to increase the value of the produce. It's done to increase the value of the produce. Talking about open packaging like eggs in crates. Okay, oils in plastics, and oil in gallons, fruits in baskets. Okay, so these are the different methods we can store agricultural produce. Number one, I talked about barn for yam. I talked about cribs for cereal. I talked about rumbles. Okay, silo, bin storage, bagging, cold storage, talking about the refrigerator, your deep freezers, your cold rooms, talking about canning, baskets, and then we also mentioned gourds, jerry cans, underground pit, underground silos, and the last but not the least, a good packaging process. Okay, a good packaging method. Okay, let's take that down. Okay, here are the methods of storage as listed on the board. Okay, number one, barns. That's where the yams are stored in barns. Cribs, this one is for cereal. Rumbles for cereal. Silos for cereal. Bin storage. Talk about bagging. Cold storage, example are freezer. Number 8 is canning. Number 9, baskets. And this one is usually found mainly in rural areas. Number 10, gourd. Number 11, jerry cans. 12, underground pit. We also have the underground silos. We have the underground silos. Okay. I hope you can see this very well. Underground silo. And number 14, we talk about packaging. Okay. I'm sure it has been an interesting topic. Remember, we're talking about storage. And we said that storage can be defined as the process of keeping agricultural produce for future use as food, raw materials, or for sale. Okay, and we also went further to talk about the reasons for storage. Number one, we said to ensure that food is available throughout the year at affordable prices. Number two, we said that it's to reduce to the minimum the amount of seed spoilage caused by diseases and pest attack. Number three, to ensure that seeds needed for subsequent planting are stored in a good condition. This is very, very key for farmers. Number 9, to preserve the harvested products from loss and loss of quality and poor sales. Number 5, we said storage and preservation ensures adequate supply of raw materials to industries for processing. From there, we went further to talk about the methods of storage: barns, cribs, rumble silos, bin storage, bagging, cold storage, canning basket, gourd jerry can, underground pit, underground silos, and packaging. I'm sure it has been an interesting ride. It's been fun. All right, we've come to the end of our class. I'm going to give you something to do for me. That's our assignment as usual. You're going to dissolve that and bring the answers back to me in school. Okay, here's the assignment on the board, made up of questions that you are going to dissolve for me and bring back to school. Okay, number 1 is what is food storage. Number 2 is state 3 importance of storage of agricultural produce. Number 3, state 10 methods of storing agricultural produce. It's a done deal for you, I know. It's as simple as A, B, C. I know it's done on arrival. Okay. It has been an interesting class. Thank you for having me. Okay, until I come your way next time again, I'm still your host, your tutor for Agric Science, Mrs. Omas. Have a nice day.